How's it going, guys? This is the Armoury showcase. All the units in the Armoury for the DON-100 Soviet Internal Defense Division with shotguns and APS and the new best fighter in the universe as part of Nemesis 7. If you want to see gameplay for this division, check the links in the description. I'm gonna read out the words and then I'm gonna go through every single unit like I did with the French Paris division with the Leclerc and so on. If you want to see that, check the links in the description. If you want to see gameplay for that, check the links in the description. Channel members get the videos as soon as the NDA drops. Everybody else can just wait, and I'll be releasing basically one video every 12 or 24 hours until all of them are out, essentially. So yeah, I'm going to read out the words. If you want to skip that, check the links in the description. Gameplay. A light infantry division focused on combat in difficult terrain. This Soviet internal security battle group can count on sizable tank, MVD troops, and helicopter support. No S here, it's over, it's over. History. The 100y Motostrelkovaya Divizia Ozobogo Nazначения or the 100th Motorized Division for Special Use was part of the Soviet Ministry for Internal Affairs, the MVD, formerly at the very tail end of the Cold War. Formed at the very end of the... I'm sorry, guys. Chiefly deployed in the Caucasus, the DON-100 was created by combining several air assault units and the 14th Tank Division. Nicknamed the Wild Division, on the eve of World War III, the internal troops formation was to combat the explosive rise of insurgent uprisings on the USSR's southern frontier, undoubtedly flamed by NATO agents and special forces. The DON-100 deploys the MVD internal troops in great numbers, bringing their MVD BTR-80 APCs, BMP-1s and BMP-2s without ATGMs, that's very cool, and PT-76Bs. Cadeti MVD and local militia back up the main body of infantry, driving to battle in repurposed Gaz-53 and ZIL-131 trucks. Oman Internal Special Police Forces can also deploy, armed with their colossal KS-23 shotguns. Older tanks provide fire support from T-62 OBR-72 and OBR-75s, plus the locally tested T-62M with an active protection system. The UR-77 mine-clearing vehicle fires devastatingly short-range explosive charges, especially suited for combat in urban terrain. Close air support is provided by first-generation Mi-24A attack helicopters, as well as the specialized Mi-8MT Bearcut II. Air defense is spotty, but does include long-range S-125 Neversams, while the nearby Akhtubinsk State Flight Test Center flies a handful of prototype MiG-29S interceptors. So this is really, really cool. And the Paris one, which you should have seen already because it's coming out first, that is really cool as well. This is such a big step up from Nemesis 5, which was Bueno, which was fun but sucked, and Second Check, which was like the most boring division ever released. So anyway, let's get to it. Because you get shotguns, you get APS, you get BMP2s without ATGMs, which hasn't happened yet. So they'll be like 10 points cheaper, presumably. Yeah. So here we find ourselves in the Logi tab. First new unit is a truck. Like I said, you can skip to whatever tab you want in the timestamps. I do recommend looking at it in order, though, because I'm building the deck as we go along, so... 500 supplies, 6 HP, 25 points. So it's like the Unimog. There's some words here. We should probably try and find out what the words mean. If you are a Russian, then please do let me know what the words mean. I will get up the Yandex image translate, and but I doubt it'll be able to read that. It says people. So something, people, something. Interesting. Anyway, probably bring a card. They're like the Unimog that West Germany gets, right? And then the ZIL-131 snab. So that's 1500 supply per thing. It's always 6000 supply in a card, with the exception of the fob and the those boats that the Marines get. So probably bring that as well. nice tabs here. It's actually the same, I think, as the Paris one. It might actually be slightly bigger. I think it is bigger, actually, than the Paris one. Yeah, Grozovi, if I got a third card of supply, it might be that, for the arty. Belazar Jeep, 3 per card. You've seen this in many, many places. Chaika Jeep, 3 per... Oh, this has come down in price. It used to be 100 points, which was kind of ridiculous. Now it's the same price. It shouldn't be the same price. Oh, it shouldn't be. It should be 85, really, because now there's really no reason to bring the Belazar. Because this has more HP, more armor, more speed, and it's amphibious. Should be 85. But, it's got bad stealth. Doesn't matter. It's definitely bringing that. Yeah, that should be 85. And then this is 85, and it's... and it's worse, because it's got less armor, and it's not amphibious. It's got mediocre stealth, but the howitzer round's going to obliterate this, because it's got less than 1 armor, so... Yeah, that was a bit of an oversight. I... crossed wires there. This has come down in price, and this has made this useless, this new unit, which you get 2 cards of, but, well, it is what it is, because this compared to that makes a lot of sense. But compared to this is just way better. And then we've got the fob. Infantry. Com Militia, so 3 per card, but only 3 dudes, and their militia. They got very nice skins, though. Look at that guy. Had a bit too much to eat. And that's a security vehicle, but not a military police. So it has mediocre optics when it stood still. See, I can't see why you'd bring that, basically, ever. It is 3 in a card, though. Cadetti MVD, militia, and reservist. But they get good optics when they're stood still. Also, SMGs got buffed, so the SMGs aren't as bad now. But them being militia, and there's 15 points for 6 guys. Nah, that's not worth it, really. It's not worth it, really. With it being militia, I don't think it's worth it. We'll see. Then we've got militia. Oh, wow. So that's like a satchel, then. So that's the shotgun. CQC, as you'd expect. Can fire on the move, but you're definitely not going to hit anything. Very, very high accuracy. Salvo length 3, so it's like a better shotgun. But it's militia, so you're trying to get close with a unit that has the militia trait. Although, does that make them get suppressed more, or does it just affect the reload? Because I know reservist makes you get suppressed more, but they're not reservist. So that's like the ultimate door kicker squad. 30 points, 5 guys. I don't know, it might be useful. Is there? Hopefully, there's a unit that isn't. We'll go through them bit by bit. Hopefully, there's a shotgun that isn't militia. But for now, we'll bring it because we got nice infantry slots here. PKM teams, grenade launchers generally preferable. Like so, 2 PKM teams will be a grenade launcher team, and it's cheaper. You get twice as many of them, but this has more range, and when you buy these, that's 70 points for 2. Because the transport, obviously, you sell and stuff. So the grenade launcher people still generally prefer. It's just kind of easier to use. But the PK, if you like Mega Micro, the PKM team, they serve different purposes. This kills the enemy. This is just saturation. You've just got people everywhere. Frankly, I don't think we need saturation looking at this infantry tab. I think we got plenty of that elsewhere. Commoditura, which is 4 dudes with AKs. In the Commoditura vehicle. The one you really want is the Uselania. Because Uselenia. Because they're like a very good infantry fighting squad because of the SVT and the 2 machine guns and 10 HP. And they're military police. And they've got the military police vehicle. So generally you bring these when you can. Because this lot just dies, right? And this lot can actually fight alongside the troops while providing the buffs. Then we've got Motostrelki MVD. 4 dudes, 2 per card. But this is 3 dudes, 3 per card. It depends, like, if you're going to keep them safe, then it's probably worth getting that one. Also, it's 50 points. You can just buy 2 at the start for 100, whereas 2 of these would be, you know. But you could buy 2 of these for 60. But look at these. MVD BTR80. It's got security for free, basically. Because who would pay extra for security? BB. So yeah, it's got... Because the optics only go to mediocre, it might as well be free. So it's a BTR-80, which is useful. Would be nice to get at least one of those, because they're really good at sending around the sights. I actually have a guide to how to use BTR-80s, so... Then you've got BMP-1 without the ATGM for 25 points, so security is free, because that's the same as, like, the East German one, for example, but that has Resolute, which is a lot better. Although this would actually have normal optics, wow. And then, oh wow, it's 45. It's 20 points less. Usually it's 10 points less without the ATGM. Wow. Wow. Yeah, because if you think about it, right, Don, look at the Warriors. Oh, I see, that's 25 points less. Although the armor's gone up, so it is 20 points less. But, because, yeah, it's 10 points from Milan 1, so I guess it would be, yeah, it would be 20 points from Milan 2. Because that's what's happening here, yeah, because 5 points for the armor, 20 points for the ATGM. Roughly, I mean, the Milan 2 is better than the Conkers, so it's like 15 points for the ATGM, 10 points for... Yeah, okay, it makes sense, it makes sense. But that's good, that's going to make it even more... Because I thought it would be like 55, instead it's 45. Motostrokey MVD, 8 dudes with the AKMS, which is the one with the folding stock. Sorry my voice is going, I'm fasting today. I'm recording this on the Tuesday. It's the day of Arafat, if you care about that. So no drinking water for 18 hours. Anyway, no one's forcing me to, right? So, probably want this mainly for the BTR-80s. And, yeah, the RPG ain't bad. No machine gun like, but 40 points for 8 dudes with the RPG, I think, is a good deal. Then you get... So 16 pen instead of 18. 40 points for 7 dudes, but they got an SVD. Slightly worse RPG. BMP2 without 8. Like, that's such a cool unit. Because look, it goes 10.75. That's crazy, man. So you can get... Because basically auto cannons... So do I want 7 BMP2s without... Because that's such a nice unit. It's just really funny. I've been asking for one of these for ages. Like, why isn't there BMP2s without ATGMs? But I guess they were saving it for this. Yeah, so yeah. Do I want 7 or do I want 5? Probably want 5 for now, because we've got lots of infantry slots here. And then SVD, okay, so this is like that one, but the RPG's worse. And in exchange you get an SVD, but you don't have to pay more. So it is better against infantry. Of course it is. The SVD is like 2 machine guns. And it comes in the same transport. So we'll see, Because this is like, you know, the meat, basically, but I suppose this is the... These are door kickers. Interesting. Why is this Nemesis is so much better than... Like, because what was Nemesis 6? Was Nemesis... Because this is Nemesis 7. Nemesis 6 was the... Oh, that was First Cavalry, which was good. And First Soviet, which was... Nemesis 5 was terrible. It was Bueno and Second Check, and it was like the most boring thing ever. This one is actually really good. This one's, I think, is probably going to be worth it, right? Well, it depends how much you play the game. They're all worth it for me, but I get it for free because I'm a content creator. I'm selling you it. I don't get kickbacks. So don't worry, I'm just telling you the truth. Anyway. I need to make myself look as good as possible, guys, so I'll edit that part out. But yeah, they don't pay me. They just give it me early, so I can show you it. Which is nice of them, I do appreciate that. So Saperi RPO for winning all forest fights ever. So we'll get that. Against these HE Carl Gustav guys, it might be worth vetting these now to make them shoot slightly faster, but it depends who you're against. So yeah, definitely bring that. And it's a new transport, but, you know, it's got some numbers on it. It's just a truck, man. It doesn't really matter. We've got Omons. There we go. Don't need this militia anymore. Don't need the militia anymore because we have door kickers without, you know, and they've got smoke, so they can throw the smoke in front of them, get in. This can fire when it's in the same building. It should have the door trait on it. This can fire in the same building. This can fire in the same building. And the transport's better, so you can get in. Although the weird part is 8 Mi-8 rockets. So I do want the 8 Mi-8 rockets, but it makes the squad so expensive, so I can't use it for door kicking. You know, because the idea behind this usually would be you just shoot a bunch of smoke at them and then run all the BTR-80s in. Use this because it's got its own smoke. You could use this if you want, it's even cheaper. And then you unload on top of them, run in the building like Broken Arrow style, basically. Jump in, bam, bam, bam. And then, you know, throw the smoke everywhere. But yeah, I want 8 Mi-8 rockets if you don't mind. So probably only need 5, what, 8, 5? I can't see myself needing that many of these, frankly, when you've got the Saperi RPO, but I'll probably get rid of these guys now. Urson. So that's like an anti-infantry squad. Special forces. Probably get that in the BTR-80, frankly, because, you know, how many rocket things do I really need? So probably get that in the BTR-80. SVD, PKM, special forces. So it's a long-range anti-infantry squad with some AT capability. So we'll get that. And I need to look at the dude. Look at the dude. Look at the dude, guys. I didn't look at this dude either. Look, they've got they're too far away. I can't look at them. There we go. So they've got the blue balaclavas on. For the stealth, I guess. Very angry looking man here. This guy looks a bit calmer. Yeah, we already looked at Fatso here. And, oh, you get 2 cards of these. Interesting. Although I am kind of lacking in the... Did I not bring this? Lacking in the old, you know... Let's probably downvet that now and bring this. SPG-9s, they're alright, but yeah, the Unspeakable one Conkers grenade launcher combo is pretty funny, but this time I'll probably just bring the Conkers and the Plamia. And the Okrana MVD, which are militia. 16 dudes. Okay, well that's my meat for the machine, isn't it? So I get this for the RPG, I guess. And this is my spam. 16 dudes. But they're militia. And, like, the shotgun isn't going to shoot most of the time, but 16 dudes! You can't pass that up, really, can you? So, the CV, I don't know about the 3 per card one. We'll see about when we get to the tank tab. Omon for actual close-range combat. Okranas for spam. Uselania, because they won't remove the militia trait, they remove the reservist trait, which none of the guys I've brought actually get. So you might not need them, really. But yeah, that's anti-infantry, and it goes with these guys for, like, just to help them along a bit, right? We'll see if we need them. So Ferry RPO, Ursons for sort of decent anti-infantry, line infantry, Conkers. Yeah, I think that's all good. This is kind of the odd one out. This is the one that I might swap out, because it's good to have a because this is anti-infantry, but you know, this is also anti-infantry, and this is anti-infantry, and this is anti-infantry, and it doesn't remove the militia trait. I think Instructor removes the militia trait, It definitely removes the reservist trait and upvets by 1. I don't think it removes the militia trait. Anyway, I might be wrong. Who knows? I said it both ways, so obviously I have to be wrong. One way. Artillery. Wow. So, no new units, but this is... Basically, Toad stuff's better now. These being 4 per card is pretty crazy, so they're the new meta. So, basically, this is for counter battery because of the 30 kilometers range. Somebody said they don't like it when I do this, it really freaks them out. Whoa! This is for just general purpose use. And honestly, is there any point bringing them in the MTLB anymore? Because... Well, it's cheaper, but you can sell this. But yeah, sometimes I do move them, but usually I don't, so... Coffin launcher. Oh, this is new. Because it's different to the one that's in 94Y. Because it's got this on the top. So it's different. Yeah, it is new. Because look, it's the 77 versus the 67. So it's identical, but the skin is different because it's got the cover on it. It's like Johnny number 5, right? So surely this should have less than 1 top armor, and this should have 1 top armor. Because this isn't covered. Yeah, that's what they should do, right? They should make this 5 points cheaper and give it less than 1 top armor. And then at least it'll have some difference. It's not a big deal, but... Because this is covered, so it's obviously better. Interesting. It's like, even the speed is the same. Yeah, missed opportunity there. But, I mean, it doesn't matter too much, does it? So, yeah, coffin launchers, these are great for clearing out. Like, this is the ultimate town fighting division. You get the shotguns and so on. And we need the mortars for the smoke spam. So I can get close, but that's a 3-point slot. Got a lot of arty here, Hippie. Sacrifices must be made. The alternative is to use these for smoke, but they tend to... The smoke area is really, really small. Anyway, that is a lot of arty. Oh, it goes for 2. Well, it is what it is. Tanks. D-44s. We've seen these before in German service, but here they are in Soviet service. Might actually be useful, you know, because I'm not bringing the unspeakable one. And the slots here are reasonably cheap. So I could bring it at 2 vet, because it's got good stealth. It's actually not bad. 12 rounds a minute. You know, bring it in the MTLB or whatever. It's actually not so bad. Look at a transport there. Because, yeah, obviously, like, this is still going down at the same increment. It's minus 10%, minus 15. Okay. But, like, I don't need 7 of them, that's the thing. I probably won't buy very many of them, so... MVD PT76B. It's probably not worth it. I've been speaking about how it'd be cool if these had mediocre stealth, but... You know, who knows, who knows. Right now it does not have mediocre stealth, so... I wouldn't bring it. If it did, I might bring it at 2 vet and, you know, use it as like a defensive tool or something, but... It's probably not worth it in its current state. Then we've got the T-72 command tank, so 3, 6, 8. So I'll probably bring this because my infantry tab's full, so probably bring this. And that is 18, pen, 19, 25 range. Thing with the T-62s is that they're... Sorry, I can't drink anything, so my voice is a bit messed up. I do apologise. So basically, people are like, oh, it's bad because the fire rate is low. And, right, but it's 80 points. And it can survive on the land too. So if the fire rate was higher, it would be like 100, and then it wouldn't be worth it. So it's very good that the fire rate's low. It actually makes the tank different to the other tanks. It actually makes the game more interesting. So it's good that the fire rate is low, because then it can be cheaper for what it is. So, yeah, you always get these guys who are like, it should just be better. Everything should just be better. But it's like, yes, but then the price goes up, and then it isn't actually better anymore. So... yeah, not forward-thinking, basically. So that's an interesting tank. The idea behind the T-62 is because of the armor and the low rate of fire, with the decent gun for the price, but the low rate of fire. They're good on the defense because you get the first shot off, and you can always retreat, and they're just good for the defense, generally. On the offense, they do suck, but they're cheap, so... This doesn't have smoke. This also doesn't have smoke. The Dushka is the big game changer here. Makes it a lot better against, you know, against infantry. So this becomes an infantry support tank, right? As opposed to like a defensive kind of gun, which I've got here. Same range, more pen-like. But yeah, we're going to be using the smoke to close the range, and at the closer ranges, the armor with the low range, you know, it helps a lot. And you can always 2-vet them to get those fire rates up. Like, the fire rate is increasing, it's just, it rounds, so you can't tell. And then this one also doesn't have smoke. Okay, it's got a longer range gun, though. Yeah, so the tanks are not great, but they are cheap. So, and the pen is the same, because the pen goes up by 1 every 175 meters closer to the target you get. So I'll probably be bringing all of these, but then we've got the... There you go. So that's got that's very nice. Oh, man, do I have to bring that at Novet? I think I have to bring it at Novet, because otherwise I only get 3 of them. Well, it's 180 points. There's no... I do have military police vehicles, which provide the suppression regeneration, but they don't rank it up. But they do, and this doesn't have smoke, so it can't really sit with this. But yeah, that's a very nice gun, 20 pen. I mean, very nice AP. The main reason you would get it is because of the repairer, and that means I should probably bring it at Novet. And the active protection system, which I believe is identical to the Drozd. T-62M. T-62M. Compare it to the T-55AM. So the Drozd has higher accuracy. And, oh, it's vetted. That's, yeah, it's just identical. It's a shame. It would have been cool if they made it slightly different. Like, you know, this should have 8 rounds, right? Whereas this has... Oh, this would also have 8 rounds, so it's for balance purposes, I guess. Yeah, it'd be cool if they'd made it slightly different. But whatever. So yeah, I'll bring this for defense. And they're basically all defensive tanks, but you don't have forward deployment, so you're going to have to get creative with your smoking. And, you know, do a lot of smoking, and then jump in with your... These not having their own smoke, it really does necessitate the mortars. None of them do. Yeah, it's difficult. So probably bring them at 2-vet, because if you're bringing them, you want them to do something. 10 points for a Dushka. Oh, this is it. Whoa! I completely read this wrong, guys. This is heat. Is it supposed to be heat? I might have to test that, because it says it's the same. So this is 18 heat, which means it's enough to one-shot a BMP-2. Whereas 18 kinetic isn't. Is that right? Is that right? We have to test it. We have to test it. I'll do the test at the end. I'll just test it against some BMP-2s in dev mode, and I'll just paste it at the end. Or I might even edit it in. I'm going to have to edit it in, aren't I? Right, so here we are on the new Vertigo map. They added the +2s back here, guys. It finally happened, thus making the map less lane brain. So that's a huge change. Please do thank your local Eugen representative for that. You basically need to encourage them to do it, and let them know that it's a good thing, so that they keep revisiting the old maps and doing it right. Otherwise, they don't know. So very, very nice, because it used to be that Well, the zones used to be here, and everybody just used to fight here because, well, you want to push to these zones, and there were only 2 points available here and 6 points available here. And then we said, look, it's lane brain, can you put zones here? And they moved the zone from here to here and here to here. This must have been a miscommunication. And then it just became lane brain here, where this side has a massive, massive advantage because of the hill. So it just made the map a lot worse. So now it's finally been added back here. And so now if you take these, you can actually go here. And it's obviously hard to get there, but it gives you opportunities to do something other than just go for this all the time. So that's very, very nice. Anyway, we're in dev mode, spawning units. If you want to know how that works, I do have a guide for that as well. Just check the guides playlist. So what we're testing here is that 18 heat should be enough to one-shot 2 armor. And that's showing side armor, which is frustrating, but maybe when it sees me... Yes, it's turning, it's turning. Yes, it is. It's 18 heat. So it's... I mean, it missed, but... it doesn't fire very fast, but that is really good. 18 heat is like... Isn't it the highest we have in the game? I don't know if that's supposed to be on purpose or not. Not had my breakfast today. I actually haven't, but... What? Come on, man. The statistical chances of that happening that many times in a row is... There we go. So as you can see, that one-shots it. Whereas this one, which is 18 kinetic, will only do 8 damage. Oh, bollocks. Oh, no, I messed it up. But you see. Yeah. Back to the thing. Just edit this part. Edit this part. Edit this part. Edit this part. Right, here we are back at it, and basically we definitely want to be bringing this because it one-shots BMP2s. You would think they'd put something here to let you know, because that's like nothing, it's just this little icon. So this is better against infantry, and this is better against armor. So we definitely want both of those. And I'm bringing them at 2 vet because... I mean, the rate of fire is kind of abysmal, the accuracy is kind of abysmal, so just try and keep it alive with smoke spam, I guess. Or you could just go for weight of numbers, right? But, I mean, there's a lot of tanks here, anyway, at 2 vet, so... Yeah. Recon. So, the Razvedka MVD. 4 dudes. No recon vehicle. That's crap. The Sniperi MVD sniper with a Mosin sniper, not a Mosin DMR. Airborne forward deployed. Might be useful. Ursun Razvedka. There you go, that's what you want. Ground surveillance radar, BTR-80s, RPG, SVDs. They're like Spets Razvedka. They're almost identical to Spets Razvedka, actually. And then... Yeah, this having security doesn't really matter. The optics will be mediocre instead of bad. Wow. But it's good to have this out at the start because sadly you only get 4 of them, but this is what's going to reach the front line first, and it's good that it's got AT and it can defend itself. And ground surveillance radar is nice to have. BRDM2s, yes please. They are very, very, very strong. I don't think they should have been buffed. But oh, actually, I've only got 4 slots. Razvedka Saperi. Now, usually I'd bring this, but we've only got 4 slots. And we've got enough close-range AT, so do I have to bring these guys? You only get 6 of them, and they don't have AT. Oh, they don't have AT. And you only get 6 of them, but they're a bigger squad. But yeah, this you definitely have to bring for the cheap recon, because, you know... So that replaces this, basically, and it can go around the side and be a pain and so on. And then, well, yeah, we got Recon Helo. You've seen this before in 56Y. It's the jammer with very good optics and 30% ECM. And then this one has 20% ECM, and it has a bucket on the bottom. It has a washing basket on the bottom, apparently. But no, it's this. This comes out and shoots people. But you can't tell, because it's landed. So you definitely want that. 1750 range on a KPVT. You definitely want that. 20% ECM. And then, yeah, you definitely need more than 4 infantry recon, so it's got to be the... because this is my fighting recon. So it'll be one of these two. Either the sniper or the... I like having loads of recon, so I like having 6. The fact that it doesn't come in a KPVT vehicle is really annoying, actually, because then I'd have 12. So that's why you need this, which you probably bring anyway on this tab. This doesn't come in a BTR-80, and it's like it's close-range fighting recon. Well, I've got long-range fighting recon, and I've got plenty of close-range fighting guys, so it has to be one of these two. And I'm gonna go for the cheaper one. What? Yeah, it is cheaper. I'm gonna go for the more available one. AA. Yes, I see the never will get to it. So, did these used to be 20% accuracy? This is Billinger, but I think this got buffed. Like, that is pretty scary now. For 5 points more, it has the same accuracy, and it aims 0.5 seconds faster, and it's got more helo and air range. So it's just better in every way. And it's only got 1 less availability. So yeah, you definitely want that now. With the changes, big changes. Iglas. Yeah, bring some Iglas at 1 vet. Could get some self-propelled AA and bring it at like 1 vet or even 2 vet and just have it... Because I don't have any... Because like, you can't tow this around. And basically, I'm going to send one of these around the side and be annoying. And if you put an AA piece with it, they send the helo to kill it, and then this kills the helo. It's very, very, very funny. So I'll probably get that at 2 vet simply because I don't think I'll be buying that many of them. And then we've got the Never, the 4 fingers of death. The thumb is not a finger, right? Anyway, so that's really, really, really good. It's basically an Eyehawk, right? But better. Exactly what it is. Never M versus I play NATO, I get weak equipment Hawk. It's just a stat clone, but they gave it 1 more missile. 10 points for 1 more missile, I'd buy that any day of the week, mate. Because it tends to be that you fire 2 at a plane that flies over you. You tend to fire 2. So having 3 is a really awkward number. Having 4 is great. So there you go. That's very, very strong. It's just an Eyehawk. You get 2 cards for 10v10s. For 1v1, you only need 1 card, unless you're a Mega Spesh who just always dies and doesn't... just doesn't react to seed. Helicopters. Rocket 2. You've seen that before. It's nice, but we got enough rockets here, so... So we don't need that one. Nor do we need the Rocket 3. Which, in hindsight, is probably better than the Rocket 2. I used to say the Rocket 2 was better because more missiles, but these are bigger missiles. This is the one we're looking forward to. The ugliest helicopter alive. So it is an Mi-24D, but the gun is worse. Okay, well, we're bringing that, aren't we? Because look, well, this has the Phalanger. These AA helos, they're just not good for AA purposes. Unless you come up against a helicopter that doesn't have AA. Basically, the only AA helos you want are those 3 per card ones. Which this is not. The 1 per card ones aren't really worth it. This has Cocons. We struggle against tanks, so yes, we need lots of Cocons, and we'll get to the plane tab. We might have to make some sacrifices here, frankly. And then this for 20 points more gets a much better gun. Well, the gun doesn't have the thing on it. 10% ECM does matter. But for 20 points... And like the gun doesn't have a turret, so it's not actually... It's got more range, but sometimes you'll find it just doesn't fire and things like that. Generally, you don't want to be in gun range. So it's basically 10 points for 10% ECM. So, I don't know if that's worth it, really. Air. We'll get to it, we'll get to it. So, rocket thing, so you could do Helo, cheap jet, rocket opener. Napalm thing, terrible. Don't bring it. AT plane, but with... I think that's worse than the regular AT plane. Have to check it. We're here to check these things. C-25, AT-2. Yes, it costs more and it's worse. Or it's the same. The stats are the same. Oh, wait, the suppression is 500. You only have 500. The difference between 390 and 500 doesn't matter too much, but the fact that it's 500 is it does matter. Is it worth 5 points? Maybe, I don't I don't know. You're not going to notice the difference, really. 5 points difference. And then the Rocket 3. Whoa. 120-second reload. 8 4.2 HE rockets. No wonder it's 2 per card. But won't it just... Oh, it's the salvo length's 2, so it won't just dump them all on one target. So yeah, that's the opener. This, that, and this. Bam! And yeah, the salvo length's 2, which means it probably won't dump them all on one target if you're paying attention. Fighter jet. I prefer this one because it is better. Whoa. New trait. High off-bore sight capability. Fire and forget missiles that can acquire targets directly from the pilot's helmet sight, allowing a much wider angle for target lock and launch. Oh, that's going to be fun, facing these R-73s. Let's just check the... No, the NATO ones are just worse now. Okay. They were worse before anyway, because they had less suppression, but... Well, there it is. Yeah, okay. Price go up? Nah. I never realised how strong the Soviet Union's Air Force was. It was just better than the NATO one, right? Because NATO invested in air, whereas the Soviets invested in anti-air because they knew they didn't have the money to invest in air as much as NATO. So naturally, in this game, the Soviets get the best Air Force. Anyway, so we'll get that for the high off-sight, bore sight, whatever. And here you go. Another bestest in the universe. Fire and forget. 7775 meter range. 1 second reload time on a fire and forget missile. If you notice, this one's 2, so that it doesn't shoot really fast. So that's pretty crazy, so you're obviously going to bring that. Oh, I can't fit it in. No, help. We're going to have to make some sacrifices. I could just get rid of this. I need all that, though. I got 2 cards of supply. Gonna have to get rid of these, basically. Because you've got everything you need here. You don't need this. And that gives me 3 AP. Which, I only need 2, but... So I'll have 4. Oh, yeah, okay. So yeah, there you go. No, as in... you get my point. So we'll bring the MiG-29S. Now I've got 1 AP left. It's not the end of the world, honestly, to have 1 AP left. Wow, that's a 3 AP slot for this. Well, it's not that. You don't really need it. It's like, it's funny, but... It's funny to... Because this can shoot helos anyway in a pinch, because you just park it in a forest and aim up. So it's like, it's nice to have, but it's not, you know, too... So I could either get more jets... Which, I do kind of need this, but you don't have, you don't have, like, cover for them, right? So, if there's enemy AA, you're just going to get smacked. But I do need an anti-tank plane, although this probably tanks don't like being hit by that, frankly. I need an anti-tank plane, or I can get 3 more helicopters with AT on them. These are gotta go, man. But I want to win the arty duel, but you gotta make some compromises here. You gotta make some compromises. I do need the AT plane. And then that gives me 1 AP. And then if I get rid of this, then I'm just, like, use these for counter batteries, use these for short range, but I don't have a medium range howitzer because this will be stuck counter batterying for most of the game. But it's a lot of arty anyway for 2 cards of supply. Gotta make the compromises. Now I've got 2 AP again, and now I can bring more helos. We might as well get that one just in case I can afford it and so on. Because, yeah, I need... Oh, the Phalanger is worse on this, I think, than the Phalanger that's on the Mi-24D. Just check that quickly. Yeah, it's got 10% less accuracy, so it's probably going to miss. But then... Yeah, let's just put this back in. And then just because I've got 3 AT helos, and we'll get the cheaper one now, and we've got the AT plane, and we've still got, you know, the funny RT and so on. So I appreciate it's a 1 AP slot, and oh, it's the end of the world. It's the end of the world, 1 AP. So I'm going to swap this one out probably for this guy, because he has smoke. Although, well, 3 HP is really low. Like, he's just gonna die like an idiot. But 2 at the start for 100 points. And this will probably die to a howitzer anyway, right? And it's got good optics when it stood still, so that's not so bad. You could put it in a tower or something and get exploded. So yeah, that's DON-100. If you want to see gameplay, check the description. If you want to see the Paris div, check the description. Channel members get the videos as soon as the NDA drops, so they get it early. And everybody else can just wait. I make my excuses, but at the end of the day, I need the money. So the div is a lot of fun. Frankly, I think the Paris div is a little bit more interesting, but this is a very interesting div. The door kickers are very funny. It centers around the close range, and the fact that this tank is 18 heat is absolutely absurd. This one-shots BMP2s, so it's like shoot the smoke everywhere. That's why I need the RT superiority, and close range with the tanks and the infantry with the shotguns, which are here. Lots of rocket planes. You will struggle against enemy. Like, if you're on Vertigo, you can have a really tough time against a div with proper tanks. I brought this at no vet just so it could, you know, tank stuff up, and we've got the... Oh, we don't have the military police vehicle anymore because I got rid of it. Ah. But it should be at beyond max tank range anyway, so it should be alright. This for a little bit of close... Oh, that's a 3-point slot. So if you get rid of this, then you can get 3 more helicopters, but frankly, I've got enough helicopters, so... Yeah, it's an interesting div. You got to make some interesting decisions. And, yeah, check the links in the description for gameplay. I'll see you around. After playing a game as the div on an open map, I found that I was running out of tanks, so I came back and down-vetted all the tanks to 1 vet, apart from the T62M, so you can do that if you want. And I also found that I didn't have enough infantry AT, so I swapped out a card of, you know, the 122s. I swapped them out so that I could get a second card of these in the truck. Oh, it's the wrong one. I want this one. Just for the infantry AT, because I found that I was running out of infantry AT. Now, you can bring this if you want, but I've got enough anti-infantry, right? So bring it in the truck. And also, that gave me enough AP to get 2 more helos. So, yeah, because I was really struggling against the tanks in that game. Check the link in the description. It's Hippie versus Tanner on the new Vertigo. That'll be coming out in a few days. Channel members get it early, etc.